everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Adam, this is my channel Adam Sews, and today I'm coming to you with a slightly different video to normal, and I am going to tell you about my me-made wardrobe that I'm taking on retreat. So I've been packing this morning and pulling things out the wardrobe thinking, what can I take with me? We've suddenly, all of a sudden in the UK, decided that snow is a good idea, and apparently the place that we're going has had snow already and is planning, I think it's planning to have snow over the next couple of days as well while we're away. So I need some things that keep me warm, but I also want some things that are slightly nicer looking so that I look like I've made some sort of effort. And I thought I would go through what I'm packing because it's all me made, apart from my 3 pairs of Levi's that I'm taking with me, which are all vintage and all sorts of Vinted, which is an app in the UK. I believe it's worldwide, where you can buy vintage and repurposed clothing. So I will start off with the first thing that I made, which this is something I actually made from a collab a long time ago with the Fab Five, which is Andrew from Andrew Makes, Jen from Today and Jen's Sewing Room, Trish from Pinky's Farm, and Carol from Sew Carol, and myself. This is the Wardrobe by Me overshirt. This is made from a flannel which is covered in mushrooms. So this is going to be coming with me because it's that perfect layering garment where if you're a little bit cold and you want to just pop something on but you don't want a sweatshirt or a jumper or a cardigan or anything like that, then this is the perfect answer. The second thing that I'm taking with me is this sweatshirt, which I actually made for my husband a little while ago. It's made from this really lovely like faux cable knit fabric. It's a viscose blend, but it's super soft. This is the Sinclair Kai t-shirt with a hack that I did to the neckband. So what I did is actually just cut the neckband the same length as what it is in the pattern, but I think I made it 8 inches tall, so that when it's folded in half it's 4 inches, so it gives you this faux sort of cow neck. And I just hemmed this as normal with the, did I cover stitch this? Yes, I did. It's cover stitched at the bottom, and then I did put cuffs on it, so it's more like a sweatshirt jumper. So that's another layering piece. And then moving on to my shirts that I'm taking with me, I'm taking 2 of my Gosling shirts. One is in this beautiful Liberty Tana Lawn. This is one of their classic prints. I'm not that clued up on what the name of the print is. I can't remember for the life of me. But this was one of the first ones that I made out of Tana Lawn, and I absolutely love this shirt. It is so comfortable. So I'm hoping that this will be a good sit and sew shirt because it is really comfy. The second one is another Gosling shirt, which is made from this beautiful Liberty Tana Lawn, which is the survival print, which features endangered species. So if you actually look closely at it, it's got pangolins, bumblebees, there's rhinos, tigers, all sorts of amazing creatures hidden in there. And this has got the Liberty buttons on it, which are these beautiful, really smooth chrome buttons, which I bought a bulk amount of when I was up there because I thought they're perfect. They are universal, they go with everything. So yeah. The next shirt that I'm taking with me is one of my newest makes, which is this shirt here. It's from a faux Liberty Tana Lawn, which I got online, and it's the Hello Kitty range, which is a range that Liberty made for Japan specifically, so you can't actually get it outside of Japan. You can get it on some Etsy stores and stuff like that, but it's ludicrously expensive. So I managed to find this, I think on AliExpress, I think it was, and it's beautiful. It's more of a poplin Liberty than it is a Tana Lawn, even though it's classed as lawn when you order it. It's more of a poplin. But this is the Tropical Research Laguna shirt, I want to say. I think it is a Laguna shirt. So this is sort of more of a camp collar style, which I don't normally wear because I don't like anything that sort of exposes my chest in any way, shape or form, because I don't feel comfortable with it and I don't feel like it's something that anyone wants to see. But this is really comfy. It's not that low cut, which sounds funny for a guy saying that, but yeah, it doesn't come down too low, the camp style collar on this. Like it's sort of that happy medium balance where I don't feel too sort of exposed around here. So yeah, those are my shirts that I'm taking with me. Obviously I wouldn't be going anywhere that's sewn related without taking my handmade trainers. So these are my line work trainers, which are made from a sneaker kit pattern and different soles, but these are so comfy. I'm going to be wearing these probably around when I'm at the retreat. I don't think I'm going to wear them up there just in case they get filthy outside, because of it being snowing obviously. And quilting cotton, white soles, snow, nah, that ain't happening. So on to sort of like basics. One of the sweatshirts that I'm taking with me is this one here. I made this ages ago and it's been stuffed in part of my wardrobe that I didn't even know it was even in. So I found it the other day and I was like, oh, I thought I'd lost it during the house move a couple of months ago. So this is a Dean sweater this is a Dean raglan sweatshirt by Bobbins and Buttons. I don't tend to make raglans because I don't tend to like how they fit. They normally go lumpy on the shoulders. And I've had many an issue with raglan raglan sweatshirts where I tend to sew a front to an arm to an arm to a back to a front, and then I realise later on that I've sewn them in the wrong order because they all look the same, the pieces, most of the time, and they drive me nuts. And the neckbands tend to not sit as flat as in a set-in sleeve sweatshirt, but this one actually worked out really well. So this is made from a Harry Potter Daily Prophet French terry, which is, I think I got it from an American D-stash. Someone had imported it, and then it's just got plain black French terry sleeves. So I absolutely love that sweatshirt, so that's coming with me. I'm taking some basic t-shirts like the one I've got on and this one, which are Sinclair tees, and they are just basic t-shirts basically. Just thought I'd go through the pattern and mention that's what that is. The other thing as well, which is another recent make, which is this one here, which is another hack of this Sinclair tee into a long sleeved, and again doubling the collar up, so it's got a faux cow neck, turtleneck, however you want to say it. And the other thing that I'll be taking with me, which obviously can't be forgotten, is my Tula Pink Minky all-in-one pajamas, which are these ones here. So these are a pattern called Dogan Patterns, which is a Etsy designer. The patterns are literally about £3 or $3 per pattern for the PDFs. This is the oversized sweatshirt. It fits perfectly. It's snuggly, it's not too long, it fits around the waist nicely, it fits around the cuffs nicely, it's not too low on the neck, it's got just the right amount of ease, and it's really nice and comfy. So I practically live in this. So those are definitely coming with me, because you know what, depending on what everyone else gets up to and what everyone else wears, or if I actually really care what I look like, I might just sew in these for 3 days. So they are clean, ready to be worn for 3 days potentially. And I'm now going to get going because I need to stop. So welcome back everyone. I am back from retreat and I have pretty much zero footage of the whole entire retreat, because it's one of those things when you're at a retreat, I know some people manage to film, but I like to just focus on what I'm doing, enjoy the experience and be in the moment as such, which I know sounds a bit cliche, but there you go. So I thought I would go through what I got up to while I was at retreat. So on day one we arrived, I picked up the lovely Catherine from Soverton Makery around 11 AM. We set off after packing up the car and we managed to get all the way to Shropshire Hills in about 3.5, 4 hours. As we approached Shropshire, the snow got worse than it was where we live in Hampshire. But it was all sort of cleared to a certain extent, so it was quite safe and we managed to get to the hotel in a good time. It was literally like turning up at a Scandinavian ski resort. It was the most bizarre terrain and the views were incredible, and because it was so high up, our hotel overlooked all of the Shropshire Hills, because it's mainly aimed at walking holidays, so the scenery was absolutely incredible. And the first thing we did when we got there was settle in, set up our sewing machines, get the sewing room ready, and then we soon after checked in after ordering our evening meal and our following day's lunch. So in terms of food, the hotel was absolutely incredible. We literally couldn't have been offered more food if we tried. Every morning you could have food from the breakfast buffet, or you could order hot food. So we ended up eating like kings and queens, basically. So yeah, as I say, we set up and then we went through sort of like a bit of a catch up with everyone, and did a lot of chatting, and then pretty soon after we got straight into the sewing. So we got quite a lot done. We stayed up quite late on the Friday night, probably until about 11 sewing, I think it was. And then the Saturday night was the same. We stayed up probably until about 11 sewing. I was up at 5:30 a.m. because I wanted to be in the sewing room and get my fill and get as much time in there as possible. And after we finished sewing on Saturday evening, myself, the lovely Rachel from French Seams, and Sam from So Let's Sparkle with Sam, we ended up sitting up until nearly 2 a.m. talking in the lounge area, and it was just absolutely amazing catching up with everyone, talking about everything including sewing and everything not including sewing. So I'm going to show you now some of the lovely gifts that I got. So the lovely Mandy, who is Make It Sew on YouTube, I will link everyone that I can remember down below. If you haven't seen Mandy's channel, go and check her out. She creates some of the most amazing garments. She is one of the loveliest people you'll ever meet. So please go and check her channel out and give her a subscribe. She was very, very sweet, and she gave us all a little box of gifts, and my one contained a bag of Swedish fish because she knows me too well and how much I love them. She'd got me some industrial sewing machine needles, which was very thoughtful of her because she knew that I had an industrial, and she made me this coaster, which I believe she makes with a sublimation printer, I think it is, as she said, and it says just a man who loves sewing, which I thought was brilliant. So this is going right next to my industrial machine for when I've got my cup of tea, for when I'm beavering away in the sewing room. And then the lovely Rachel, who is the French Seams, again, I will link her down below. She got us all some lovely fuzzy Christmas socks, which are super cute and super comfy. I cannot wait to get them on my feet, but I wanted to show you them first. And she got us one of these each, which to most people looks like a candy cane, but it's actually, in fact, a pencil, which I think is the best thing ever because it hooks straight on the pegboard, so I've always got a pencil to hand. So I'm going to sharpen this and get this used pretty soon, pretty much. And then we did a sort of day trip on the Sunday morning. We all jumped in each other's cars and we drove to Abercorn Fabrics in Shrewsbury Town Centre, and I was a little bit nervous about going to Abercorn because I know that in previous talks with people that live near Abercorn stores, that they do sometimes have Tula Pink. And when we got there, I immediately found that they had some of the new Untamed range, so I managed to get hold of some of the new Untamed. I got some of the Dogtooth, some of the Raindrops, some of this beautiful floral Checkmate, which is the gorgeous neon checkerboard, and some of the Hello Dahlia, I think it is, Hello Dahlia, which has got the neon spot in the flower, which matches the neon check, which I was super happy that they had some of those in stock. So I managed to stock up on some of the new Untamed line that's just released. And then I was digging away through their scrap bins, which is all done by the kilo. And to be honest, I didn't think I was going to find anything. And initially, all I could find was some of the neon stripe, which I think there's about a metre there. There's about a metre of the neon fairy flakes, so I was really happy to find that. Then I was searching for a little bit longer and I managed to find some of the tiny dots, which I was really excited about. Then I found some of the tiny stripe in pink, and then I found a little bit of it in grey. And then just as I was about to leave, and I was searching for another fabric for Sam because she'd found a metre piece of a really, really cute dinosaur print, but we were desperately trying to find another cut that she could add to it to make a shirt from. But unfortunately, even after we raided nearly every single bin in there, we could not find any more of it. And then I stumbled across 2 meters of the white on white fairy flake, which is one of my favorite fabrics. I have a bolt of it here, but I always like to top it up when I can. And this was done by the weight, which meant that all of these pieces, I think there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 meters. Because it was done by the weight, it was like £32 or something for nearly 8 meters of fabric, which worked out like less than £4 a meter or something ridiculous. So I was so excited to be able to get some of the Tula basics, which I use so much. So yeah, I was really happy with the bargain I got on those. And then while I was shopping in Abercorn, the lovely Sam, who is So Lit Sparkle, treated me to some lovely green eggs and ham fabric that she found, because she knows that I love the Dr. Seuss prints. This is the only one out of that Dr. Seuss line that I don't have, so I was super excited when she gifted me that when we got back. And then since I've been home, I've had some parcels arrive as well, so I thought I'd go through that. So Sugar Bowl Crafts, who are a fantastic shop in the UK, they sell Anna Maria Horner, Tula Pink, lots of other free spirit designers, Jennifer Paganelli. They sell really gorgeous fabrics. They had a remnant sale, so I grabbed the last meter of the potion bottles from Nightshade Deja Vu, another piece of the neon fairy flakes, and some of the fishnet from Nightshade Deja Vu as well. So that turned up, and then I completely forgot that before I went away I ordered some Tula Pink raw dino eggs from the lovely Ellie that is Oak Apple Haberdashery. So I got a metre and a half metre because I'd use some of this to make my Tula tote, which I don't think I've shown you yet. So I'm going to grab it and we'll go through that. So one of the things that I wanted before I went away was to make the Tula tote, and that was mainly because I wanted a bag that I could put all of my sewing stuff in and make sure that I had something to keep everything in check. And I just really wanted one. So as some of you know, the lovely team over at Sally Tomato sent me the Tula hardware kit for the Tula tote, which included the purse feet, all of the D-rings. They sent me some zipper tape, some of the zip end, all of that loveliness, which is why also that I needed some of the raw dino eggs, because I'd used so much of it making this bag. And this is the finished bag. So as you can see, it is an absolutely enormous tote that goes over your shoulder and holds so much stuff. It's unbelievable. So I finished this off with some of the lovely neon Renaissance ribbon across these accent panels. It's got this awesome sort of like faux snake skin, sort of charcoaly green vinyl on there with the purse feet underneath, which are from Sally Tomato. I did cover straps for the handles, which are the shoulder straps, and then it's got a massive crossbody strap as well, which I made with the Tula webbing in the neon yellow and grey, which matches the ribbon on here. So this bag is super useful. It's got a huge pocket, a zip pocket here, which has got the lovely Tula Pink zipper tape on there with the pink zip. The back of it has got another pocket exactly the same, but then it's actually got a magnetic closure here, which opens this up and allows you to have a luggage sleeve. So the actual bag itself has got pockets galore. It's got tons and tons and tons of D-rings on the front, one each side, on both sides of the tote, which allows you to clip on the Tula accessories, which I'm yet to make because I run out of time. And then internally, bit of rubbish in there from where I've used it. It's got the D-rings either side as well to clip things onto. It's got a huge zip pocket here, and then the other side again has got D-rings both sides so you can clip things on, and then it's got 2 huge zip pockets here and here, and then you have this lovely base stabilizer that goes in there as well to keep the base of it nice and flat. So the only thing that I will say with this is it uses, not only does it use quite a lot of fabric, it uses a lot of hardware and a lot of stabilizer. So the front panels themselves have got woven interfacing foam and Decaville Heavy, which is like a leathery sort of stabilizer, so it gives it a really, really good structure and makes it a really, really solid bag. So yeah, I was super pleased to get that done, and everyone was so nice about it. Everyone said how amazing the bag was and that they couldn't believe that I made it in a day, but I had to get it done before I went because I needed a bag. And there are a few little things on it that I kind of wish I'd taken a little bit more time with, but I knew because it was for myself, if it was slight imperfections, then it wouldn't bother me so much. And there's very little on there that I'm unhappy with. Mainly, the only thing is top stitching around the top of the zip, which, to look at it, is not too bad, but it is a little bit wonky here. But I can live with that. I could always unpick it and redo it at a later stage if I want to. So yeah, I will catch up with you again slightly later to see what goes on in the rest of the sewing room for the rest of the week, and I'll talk to you. So today is Friday, I am back, and I wanted to go through with you what I was working on while I was at retreat. So as some of you may know, I have been sewing up the 100 Acre Wood quilt for our East Quilting Co, which is a sew along that is running at the moment as a block of the month, and I had the pleasure of sewing up the whole quilt as a test quilt, and I thought I would show you what I've been up to. So while I was at the retreat, I already had Pooh and Piglet done, so I managed to get Eeyore, Kanga, Rabbit and part of Tigger done, and I have completed Tigger this week along with Christopher Robin, added Piglet to Christopher Robin, and got the clouds, the bees and everything else integrated in the quilt. So I have finished the quilt top. So it is all here, folded up nice and neatly, ready to go on my new quilt frame that I purchased last week. So this is part of the 100 Acre Woods quilt. I can't show you it all because it is absolutely huge. All of the characters down the bottom, and I am going to insert a photo here. Keep my lamp still. Of the completed quilt top. So I am ready and raring to go, and I'm hoping to get this on the quilt frame this weekend and get it quilted up, ready to have it finished. So yes, for those of you that were wondering what I was beavering away at over the retreat at the weekend, that is what I was doing. So yeah, massive thank you to John over at East Quilting for supplying me with the kit and the pattern so that I could test the quilt before the rest of the release. I have to say that I think this is probably my favourite quilt that I've ever made. The sense of accomplishment of finishing it is brilliant, and I'm so excited that I got to do it. And I am going to sign off there for this week's Friday Sews because I don't want it to be too much of a long one with the added content at the beginning of what I packed to take with me. So I will see you all really soon. I will talk to you next week, if not before. Have a good weekend, happy sewing, and I will talk to you all soon. Ciao for now.